Hi everyone, and you're welcome to another episode of Your Lawyer's Corner with Mo. Today on this episode, we'll be looking into a very unique and interesting topic. The topic for today's episode is tenancy law. And with me in the studio is a colleague, a legal practitioner par excellence, Mr. Jamiu Adewale, Esquire. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, Your Lawyer's Corner with Mo.
Thank you very much. It's an honor for me to be here as well.
Thank you. Now, what is tenancy?
Well, there are a series of definitions as to what tenancy means, but to cut it short, tenancy is just as simple as we understand it. It means the heart of you taking a particular premises for a number of time, for a number of years, for a period of years, for a period of months. It depends on the type of tenancy you are looking into. But it's just for you to be in the particular premises for a period of time. The person that is letting out these premises is the landlord.
Okay.
By law, it is called the landlord, while the person that is moving in is called the tenant.
Okay. So it means the landlord gives out his premises out for people who is in need of that premises.
Exactly.
Is it for free?
No, though it depends anyway. There are some tenancy that is we call tenants at will. Okay. So if it's tenant at will, the person may not pay. So you either pay in kind or you pay in cash.
In kind, okay.
But I know in this part of the world, we usually pay in cash.
In cash.
Yes.
That is tenancy.
That is tenancy.
Thank you, Mr. Jamiu, for doing justice to that.
You're welcome.
Who are those that are bound by the tenancy law?
Yeah, as Ella said, that tenancy is a relationship between the landlord and the tenant, so to say. So when we are speaking about the tenancy law, it's just a legal regulation that take care of the relationship between both parties. I mean the landlord and the tenant. So both parties are bound by the tenancy law. So anybody that is claiming through those two people too are bound by that law.
Okay.
Anybody that is claiming through the tenant or are claiming through the landlord, like those agents, solicitor, attorney that are claiming through the landlord, they are bound by that tenancy law. And those that are claiming through the tenant too, in some cases we have sub-tenants. We have sub-tenants. So they are also claiming through the tenant, so they are also bound by that tenancy law.
Thank you. In this case, we want to use Lagos State as a case study, Mr. Jamiu. Okay. So we are dealing with tenancy law of Lagos State. Of Lagos State. Thank you. What type of tenancy do we have?
Well, in Lagos State, we have a different type of tenancy. Tenant at will. We have monthly tenancy. We have quarterly tenancy. We have yearly tenancy. So we have half-yearly tenancy. So those are the type of tenancy we have under Lagos State law. So, and I think same also apply to other states.
So we have yearly tenancy, half quarterly tenancy,
half-yearly tenancy. Then we have what we call tenant at will as well.
Tenant at will. Yeah. Can you please expatiate more on that tenant at will?
A tenant at will, most of the time, is when you think that, okay, somebody is put in an apartment. You put somebody in an apartment, so you don't have anything you are getting as a consideration for that from that tenancy. So that is a tenant at will. Or that person's tenancy has even expired. His tenancy has expired. You are not going to collect rent from that person. So pending the time that the person will leave, it's a tenant at will.
Okay.
So that is the position.
Thank you.
Okay.
What is tenancy agreement, and who are those entitled to prepare tenancy agreement?
Well, it's a very, very germane question because, especially in Lagos State, people think that once you pay, once you want to move in, you have to sign a tenancy agreement. The tenant will pay for the tenancy agreement. Some will not even render the tenancy agreement to you. So, but according to Lagos State law, tenancy agreement, once you pay for it, it's a must that the landlord give the tenancy agreement to the tenant because it's an entitlement for the tenant. So, tenancy agreement is an agreement that binds both tenants and landlord. So
okay.
the condition, terms, and what's it called? Other aspects of those other aspects that's going to regulate their relationship will be spelled out in that agreement. So this will cover the responsibility of the responsibility and duties of the landlord, the responsibility and duties of the tenant. Even the issue of quit notice will be covered by this tenancy agreement. So, and those that are legally entitled to prepare tenancy agreement are the lawyers. Are the lawyers that are legally entitled to prepare tenancy agreement. Another person that prepared tenancy agreement is not entitled to money. It's not entitled to fee. If anybody prepare tenancy agreement and take fee, that person has committed a crime.
Are you for real?
Yes.
People don't know this.
No. It's either if the landlord wants to prepare a tenancy agreement, he doesn't have the right to collect money from the tenant for the tenancy agreement. It's only the lawyer that has the right under our law to take money for tenancy agreement or any other agreement.
I've had cases where landlords will tell you, I have one Mr. James down the street who is doing photocopy. I'll go and print out the agreement from there. Is that?
Well, it is illegal. It is illegal. The fact that some people are doing it and they are not being caught or they are not being prosecuted doesn't make it right. It is very wrong. It is a crime.
It is a crime under the law
for you to prepare a tenancy agreement by non-lawyers and you collect money for it. It is a crime.
So, dear landlords, Mr. Jamiu Adewale Esquire here says it is a crime to collect tenancy agreement fee from your intending tenant and not give the intending tenant agreement to sign. And also it is illegal for you to go down the street to warn Mr. James who is doing photocopy to go and copy and paste or print out tenancy agreements for the purpose of giving it to the intending tenant to sign. It is what? It is illegal. Please take note. Thank you, Mr. Jamiu. The last question here is, can you tell us what the responsibilities of landlord and tenant are?
So we still boil down to the importance of the tenancy agreement. Okay. Fine, the law is there, Lagos State Tenancy Law 2011, which has spelled out the tenant and landlord relationship, their responsibilities and duties. But the tenancy agreement also spells out their responsibility and duty. For instance, the landlord has the responsibility of taking care of the house to be in a to be in a tenantable manner. You cannot let a house that's already dilapidated for a tenant. So the landlord is bound. He has the responsibility of taking care of the house
even before letting it out.
Even before letting it out, that is one responsibility. And two, and this we usually see in practice, that some people, one of the responsibilities of the landlord is to issue receipts. When a tenant has paid you money for rent, you have to issue receipt that this also person has paid this also money. But what we see is that most of them don't. And it's even offensive for you not to issue receipt for somebody that has paid. It's offensive. So that is one of the responsibilities of a landlord
to issue a
receipt whenever the tenant are paid. And another is that one of the responsibility which a landlord supposed to know that under tenancy law, in no condition should you take more than 1 year rent.
Okay.
In no condition, even from a sitting or from a new tenant, you cannot take more than 1 year rent. If you take more than that, you'll be prosecuted. You'll be prosecuted.
So you mean as a landlord now, if I want to get new tenants into my apartment,
Yes.
and I need money,
Yes.
you mean I can't take more than a year rent from a tenant?
Yeah.
What if I need money?
Well, that is what most people don't know, that this type of contract is being regulated by law. You cannot just set your own law ruling. The law is there to guide you. You cannot take more than 1 year. That is what the law says. I don't know of any other state, but here in Lagos State, if you take more than 1 year, you can be prosecuted for that. It is very wrong. You can only take 1 year, take 6 months. It depends on the type of tenancy. But the most you take is 1 year.
What if it is a lease?
Yeah, if it's a lease, that is another thing entirely.
Okay.
That is another thing entirely. But if it's tenant, whether yearly tenant, whether monthly tenant, whether 6-month tenant, quarterly tenant, the most you can take is 1 year.
Wow. The most.
And even there is a crime for the tenant to also pay you more than 1 year.
So it's a crime on the both of.
On both parties.
Wow. Wow.
It's a
Wow.
crime.
Wow.
Come.
Thank you so much. And please, in a nutshell,
Okay.
what is the responsibility of a lawyer in tenancy matters, in tenancy law?
Well, lawyers have cumbersome responsibilities. For instance, from the time that the tenant is being brought to the new apartment, for instance, to draft the tenancy agreement, I have told you, it's also responsibility of the lawyer, because the terms and conditions that will be contained in that tenancy agreement, it should not run contrary to the provision of the law. So the lawyer has the responsibility of drafting the tenancy agreement, and when it comes to the time that when there is issues as to whether the landlord wants the tenants to vacate the premises, it is also the responsibility of the lawyer. I mean, we will have to take note that in tenancy matter, you cannot take a tenancy matter to police station. It is wrong to take a tenancy matter to police station, or to take it to the thug to come and evict tenant in the house. It's also a crime.
Mr. Jamiu Adewale,
yes,
thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah,
We will definitely bring you back to this show, because tenancy law is so wide that it's not something we can discuss even 10 times on this show.
Exactly.
So we are still going to bring you back next time to come and elucidate more on tenancy law and Lagos State as a case study. Thank you so much once again for coming to the show. We are glad that you came and that you honor our invitation.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And before you go, sir, we have just a little token for you.
Wow.
From your Lawyer's Corner with Mo and the crew.
Wow.
Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. Thank you.
I really appreciate. Thank you, your Lawyer's Corner. I really appreciate it. Most grateful.
And that is it on today's episode of Your Lawyer's Corner with Mo. Before we go, always have it at the back of your mind that don't just get mad. Get a lawyer. Thank you for watching. Bye.